Hey everyone, it is Chris, your number one ghost host, and
You're a Disney detective, and you're watching My Disney Addiction.
wah, 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 wah. What was that, Greg? What is that?
Do you remember that? You remember at the beginning of those Disney Channel movies or the TV show, like, "Hi, I'm Ricky Ullman, and you're watching Disney Channel."
Oh, they do that here.
Mickey
Yeah,
Mouse
yeah.
outline. I know, I
Yep.
thought it was pretty cool. And then I slipped on some piece of paper halfway through and I fall down. But anyway,
Yeah.
My
I remember
Addiction
that.
podcast, everybody.
So, hope everybody's doing well. I hope if you guys have been following our Instagram and Facebook, Greg has accepted a challenge for himself,
I put it on myself.
which was he had to wear a different Disney t-shirt for every day of the week. And you did it,
To see how far I could go.
right? That was 31 days.
Yeah, a full month, and I still have more.
My wife is blown away from the couch right now. She's like, who owns that many Disney t-shirts?
This guy. They don't
Yeah.
call me the Disney detective for nothing. I know. See, well, I've actually never counted the amount of sheer Disney apparel that I had. So I was like, this will be interesting. I might, make it to 2-3 weeks, and then afterward, I'm like, holy smokes, they're still coming out of the closet.
Yeah.
Let's just keep it rolling. And every day I try to do a different post. I try to make a different design or funny pose, things like that. So hopefully, I think you guys have been enjoying it. Let me know. And if any of you want to continue the Disney shirt challenge, let me know, because surprisingly, I will run out. So let me know, and then you can pick it up. We'll make this thing a Disney trend, and before you know it, it'll go viral. So let's do it.
Yeah, I was looking at the Instagram pictures. I'm like, you have that like Instagram like face, like
Stop.
nice chin, good hair, all that stuff. And then if I go on Instagram and take pictures of myself, I'm like, that's me. Hey, it's me.
Chris. Oh.
So yeah, so I'll try to avoid going on the Instagram.
Well, hey, I might have to pass the baton to you, my friend.
No. We want to keep our followers. This face. I have a face for radio, my friend.
Face for radio, yes.
Yep. It's a true statement. So today we're going to be talking about something that it was very, very hard for me to pick out. And I think for Greg, it was tough too. We will be talking about our top 5 Disney Channel original movies.
What? Yes, a
Top
blast from the
5.
past. And this is where we can pick any and all that have happened within the whole history of the Disney Channel original movie era. So I think
Yep.
it started, in the early 90s, and it might even be going on still with Descendants. Not sure. I haven't really kept up, but my bread and butter is like the late 90s, early 2000s. So I am getting ready to jump into the
No,
warm,
isn't it?
fresh, nostalgic pool.
No, it would have been, even then, probably would have been the early 2000s to the mid 2010s, like 2010s, because
Okay.
if you were born in 96,
Me?
yeah, when were you born? 94?
It was 93.
93, whatever. So 93, so
And
that
you're-
means,
and-
okay, so maybe 99, you might have started watching some of the Disney Channel original movies.
I have a couple that were like made in 1998, 1997. I was looking at.
So we'll see, but I see like you're
Okay.
probably the kind of guy that was late 2000s for when most of them.
Ooh, dude, I think you might be surprised. I think you will be surprised.
But we're gonna have some fun with this. It's gonna be a great one. I struggled because there are so many movies that I feel like are great and underrepresented for what we have. So let's go ahead and get started. So Greg, why don't you go ahead and start off with your number 5. We're gonna go from bottom of our favorites to the top once again.
Yes, because
Let's go, Greg.
none of these are our least favorites. We love them just in different varying degrees. So, like what Chris said, super tough to rank them and to choose what made it into my top five. I'm sure that we're going to do an honorable mention, notice a little bit later on. But for me, number 5, I think has to be Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire.
Really? I think I've only saw that. I only saw that movie like once or twice. I didn't like it that much.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, I really liked it. It was, the kids that were up against, that big bad vampire. Like, no, Mom, no, this guy's bad news for you. And she's under his spell. And then they meet this vampire hunter, who actually is Lizzie McGuire's father in the series.
Yeah.
So, I mean, of course, I haven't watched it in a hot minute, but it was one of those that stuck with me. I loved the cast. I think one of the guys that plays in it, he was Gary Giggles in Spy Kids in that trilogy.
Yeah.
Or whatever he used to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's my number 5. Just because when we thought about doing this as a podcast episode, that one was one of the first that popped into my mind. So I definitely have to honor it.
Okay. All right.
How about you?
Oh man, this is tough. There's so many. I have actually a list of
Carry the one.
13 movies that I want to mention.
Oh God. Boil it down.
Okay, so top 5. This was tough. This was really tough. Gosh, this is tough because I'm looking at my list now and I think I want to change it.
Well, me too. I'm like, okay, can we move this around? And yeah, I don't know. It's a good problem to have though, because all of these are just classic.
Okay, so okay, I'm gonna switch it. I'm gonna switch it right now.
No way, guys. This is happening in real time. Chris is switching this right now. This doesn't get any more real than this.
I had number 5 as Xenon, Girl of the 21st Century.
Oh, Zetus Lapidus.
Kicking her out of 5th, putting her in 6th, and moving on up Motocrossed.
I had Motocross for number 5, and I switched it with my Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire.
I mean, I liked Xenon, Girl of the 21st Century. I remember when I was a kid, I actually had a crush on the girl who played Xenon.
Who didn't?
But Motocross was awesome. I love motorcycles. I wanted to have a dirt bike when I was a kid. Eventually, my dad taught me how to ride a motorcycle, and I got a motorcycle when I was in high school. So I really liked the motocross vibe, feel, because in the late 90s, early 2000s, I was huge into like the X Games motif and everything,
extreme
biking,
sports,
skateboarding, skating, motocross, all of that. I was obsessed with that stuff back in the day. So
do you have any like sport figures that stick out in your mind that were in the X Games, like Tony Hawk? Were you a fan of Tony Hawk?
Yeah, I mean,
dirt bikers.
Oh my gosh, there were man, I can't even remember. This is so long ago. I don't even remember their names anymore.
Dig deep.
Oh my gosh, I can't even remember. I literally can't remember. I don't remember that at all. Besides Tony Hawk, but he was the most famous one.
You shredded, bro.
I can't remember. I mean, yeah, I can't remember. I mean, one of my favorite parts of the Winter Olympics is snowboarding. Obviously, 3-time gold medalist Shaun White. What's up?
Yep.
But yeah, motocross was great. I like the story behind it. Yeah.
It was really cool because it's sort of like, oh, will she get caught because she's trying to be your brother?
Yeah.
So she can race, and that's a really cool storyline. And that reminds me a lot of She's the Man, that Amanda Bynes movie.
Yeah.
That one is one of my kryptonites. I always crack up watching that. It's such fun. Too bad Amanda Bynes went a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs later on. But
oh yeah, she lost it.
Phenomenal movie. Totally rewatchable in my book.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of things I liked about the movie, but I think one of the things is I remember the girl who played in the movie when she went to the preliminaries, she had green finger paint on, and a lot of the guys were like, I don't get it. But for some reason, like, by the end of the series, like every guy had their fingers painted green for like good luck or something.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
she convinced him. Nice.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it. So, Greg,
Cool.
number 4.
So, is this one a Disney Channel original movie? My Date with the President's Daughter.
It was.
Okay, because I was looking it up and I'm like, it premiered in like Walt Disney's Wonderful World of Color or something. It didn't really say Disney Channel, so
it wasn't Disney Channel, but it was a Disney original movie. It was not
will
made.
We count that?
Yeah, it was made for TV. It was not made for the movie theaters.
Okay, so that one's going to be my number 4 because you can't go wrong with Will Friedle. I mean, come on,
right.
Eric Matthews from
Fine
World.
Right? You can't go.
It's so good. But Will Friedle.
My name is Dances with Squirrels.
Oh yeah. And then he has like he pulls apart his long
he has
beard, he puts
a sucker.
Puts it back. Oh my gosh, Eric Matthews. I think he was my favorite character out of Boy Meets World.
Here's what I hate though. Can we just one thing on that? Me and my wife both agree with this. We hate how in the show, as the years went on, they had to make Eric dumber.
Yes. I mean, there was a point where it became too unrealistic to be that, airheaded.
Yeah, before he was kind of like, the popular kid, kind of a little bit dumber. He wasn't the best at school. But then, like, by the time he got to college, it was like, it's like they're just trying to make you look stupid.
Yeah, just to get a laugh.
Yeah.
And for me, it didn't do it for me either. So,
all right, sorry, continue.
No, it's fine. Will Friedle, he also voiced Ron Stoppable in Kim Possible.
He did. Mm-hmm.
He was Terry McGinnis in Batman Beyond, one of the best animated TV shows out there. And he's just done a host of other things. But he was great in the title role. And I don't know, just the wacky and crazy adventures he goes on with the president's daughter. The whole cast was great. I think, didn't he take his dad's nice car and they went to there was this arcade, and I remember he got the president's daughter. I'm calling her the president's daughter because I don't remember her name. Let's just call her Tina, because Tina wanted a mood ring or something. I think he got her a mood ring, and I was always enthralled by that fabric that her dress had. It was pink, but like when she turned around and like the light hit it, and like it turned all like, I don't even know. It was a weird dress. It was white. It was very weird. It was like one of those pillows where if you would like brush it, it's a different color, then you'd like, brush it the opposite way, then like the hairs stand on the other side, it turns a different color. It was something like that. I'm like, wow, that's such an interesting.
Well, what's really weird about the movie too is I like that how the dad's like, oh, you have a date with this girl, fine, you can take my car. Here's my credit card, but only use it in the case of emergencies. And he drops it on all these fancy clothes. And it's like, did you need a leather jacket?
Well, yeah, of course. It's the late 90s and it's Will Friedle. And let's not forget how swinging that theme song was. I've got a date with the president's daughter. Oh, yeah, my date with her. So cool. I mean, it's one of the best theme songs ever.
It was a very good movie. I liked how when he pulls up to the address, he looks at it and he's like, you just got played for a sucker. And then he goes up. So if he knew he got played, he still goes up to the security gate.
Right.
He's like, hey, like, is there a different address like this, or am I wrong? And they're like, just go ahead. He's like, oh, okay. And then like, how shocked would you have been if like, oh my gosh, this is actually the president's daughter? And then at the end of the movie, like, the president's like, I'm a nice guy. I'll let you take my daughter out again. And then you see them driving in the road, and there's cop cars, planes,
helicopters, the whole 9 yards. Yeah, it was the whole escort.
That was pretty funny.
Awesome.
So I do very much love that movie. It did not make my list. I wanted to put it on my list. There are so many movies I want to put on my list, but I did not put that one on there. I did think about it. It actually is not on Disney Plus.
I thinking about that because I'm like, I definitely need to watch this after we record this episode. But such tragedy.
Okay, so it's my turn.
Yes, number 4. Come on.
Number 4. Okay, here's for my number 4. It's one that I love. I love the first one. Second one, and I think there's a third. Not a fan. I love Halloween Town.
Halloween Town. I knew you were gonna say that. Of course,
absolutely love
the
it.
Haunted Mansion man.
I am the Haunted Mansion man. I love that time of the year. I love the costumes. I love what people do. I like the fall, like the lights and stuff like that. Obviously, I mean, I love Christmas too. But I loved Halloween Town. I love the concept of the show. So it's almost kind of like Harry Potter in a sense, where like the magical world kind of isolates itself because they were manipulated, hurt, hunted after back in the day. But the way they do it, it's very different than Harry Potter. It's very much like there's a bus that takes you and transports you into a different dimension of this world, and it's just so cool because you have people that are full goblins just walking around, people with pumpkin heads, all these kind of things. It's very, very cool. I loved it a lot. Funny, the mother in that movie, you know who she was?
Oh, I saw her recently, and I was watching something. I'm like, hey, wait, that's that mom from Halloween Town.
She was April O'Neil from the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
No way.
Yep.
She was April?
She was April O'Neil.
Get out of here. Oh, yeah. Wow.
Let me check.
Okay.
So I like that movie a lot. Why don't you go ahead and look it up for me while I talk?
Oh, yeah.
So,
sure. Oh, here. I was watching a Grimm episode, and she was the mother of this one daughter that was in it. I was like, that's that Halloween Town mom. Anyway, okay. I'm gonna look it up. What do you need me to look up again?
Look up Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1989 or 19. Yeah, I think it was 1989.
Okay.
So that movie was really, really cool. I liked how oh my god, I liked how I like these movies and I can't even remember this. The main character's name.
I know.
What was her name?
Tina. We're going with Tina.
Tina. We'll go with Tina. You know her name, Stephanie? Whatever her name was. She feels like this world is wrong, like there's some weird things going on, and like her grandmother's a witch and comes and visits every once in a while. The mom's a witch and just tries to hide it. All of these things, I just think it's really cool. And then they run away, they go find the grandma in Halloween Town. The mom's old fling.
Isn't the grandma Debbie Reynolds?
I think it is Debbie Reynolds.
Wow. Okay. Anyway, sorry for interrupting. Go ahead.
But then the old fling from high school is the mayor now, and he's just super weird. The mask that he had on was really creepy when I was younger. I was like, ooh, that's creepy.
Yeah.
So I like the music in the movie too. It was very lighthearted. I don't know. I loved it all. I thought it was a great movie. So I would have to say Halloween Town is my number 4.
So for me,
Debbie Reynolds for the grandma. My wife is checking this out. What was Judith Hoag? She was April O'Neil.
So I just found that Sam Rockwell was the head thug in that movie. Sam Rockwell.
Really?
Yeah, he's head thug. But yeah, for me in Halloween Town, I enjoyed it. I think when I watched it, I was at an age where I think it scared me. Just because back then, it seemed like Disney, not only could they do really good, just lighthearted movies, but just the way that they did like the costume design and the storylines with some of their, it's scary. Like, do you remember that one TV show, So Weird? Weird.
When did that come out?
It was like mid to late 90s. It was a Disney Channel series. It scared the living daylights out of me. Like, and I just remember, it was so scary for me. I just remember the mom was like walking out of like this big fire pit, and I think she was like possessed by the devil or something. I'm like, this is a Disney Channel show. I'm freaking out here. And they also did like Don't Look Under the Bed.
I do remember that one.
That one gave me nightmares to no end.
Well, there was a lot of things that were back in the early 90s that I thought were like for kids really like kind of creepy. But like they had a whole Goosebumps shows based off of the books. So like the Haunted Mask or whatever it was, Night in the Haunted Tower was one, or the Haunted Castle or something. But like that, and then Nickelodeon had a bunch of scary things too. That it had like Are You Afraid of the Dark and things like that.
Yeah, Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah, it
was.
Yeah, so,
dude, like us '90s kids definitely weren't spared anything like kids are now. That's for sure.
So you liked it, but wasn't enough to put on the list.
Yeah, and I don't think I've ever seen Halloween Town 2 or 3. Is Halloween Town 2 like Return to Azkaban or something like that?
Yeah, right? I think they're a little bit older, but I think the third one, the girl, she's actually grown up and is actually like, I don't know if she's like a teacher now or something.
Okay, yeah, that did ring a bell. Anyway, yeah, but very solid pick for number 4.
Your number, Trace.
Dude, I see. This is when it gets tough. If it wasn't tough already. Man.
I swear to God, I'm gonna kill you because I know which one's your top one, and these 3 and 2 are going to make me mad.
Oh, it's so tough. I'm like, which one to?
See, do you see that? Like my lip curl like this, and it's like
Here it comes.
That's a look of disgust because I know what you're going to say.
Really?
So just go ahead and say it.
Okay. So number 3 is going to be the 13th Year.
Really?
Yes. I really like that. Yeah.
Get out of here.
No, I'm staying put. It's the 13th Year. It was such a cool thing because I think.
Was it 13? Were you 13 when it came out?
No, I gotta look it up. I want to say it came out in like 2000 maybe.
Okay, you explain the movie and I'll look it up.
Yeah. So, I mean, basically, it was this kid who's, he's very gifted at water sports and swimming. And then on his 13th birthday, he noticed this slow transition into, like, he's developing scales. He's super thirsty. He can't be out in the sun for too long and get dehydrated. He loves, like, he can't get out of the water. And I believe that there was also, like, a mermaid love interest, maybe. But
it came out in 1999.
99, that's right, yeah. So I would have been around 6. But it was really cool because as a 6-year-old, I was thinking, well, when I turn 13, will something happen to me? Will I get superpowers or will I become something? I just remember one of the biggest quotes that to this day my family still does is I think when one of his friends come in and like he finds out that he's a mermaid, he's like, whoa, you're a mermaid? And then they all look at each other like merman because he's not a maid. So we got a kick out of that. We still quote that to each other every so often. But again, just the wardrobe department, the prosthetics, they were so real. And it was just a very cool movie. I liked how, especially in that era, like the main character, he was one to like be friends with a lot of different cliques. And I remember one of his friends, he was more of the, shy, introverted, reticent kids who get picked on, but yet I think that kid helped him save the day. Oh my gosh, I just thought of another Disney Channel original movie that I didn't put in my top 5. I'm gonna have to do some. Oh man.
All right, but you already have your number 3, and you have 2 and 1 set up. So now it's my turn. It's my turn.
Stone. I can't change it. So yes, okay, fine. My 13th Year is number 3.
Okay, here we go.
I just thought of it.
Yep. There it is, folks. All right, so my number.
No. We are definitely doing honorable mention.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. We have
because I have 7 honorable mentions.
I probably have the same amount.
So for number Trace for me, I have to give the love to my wife's heritage here. I have to go with The Luck of the Irish.
That's my number 2 too.
That's my number 3.
All right. Anyway, go ahead.
So The Luck of the Irish is, and since this is your number 2, we can kind of just banter back and forth a little bit.
Yeah.
I loved the whole idea of it. Like this kid who came from an Irish heritage, his parents and his mom and grandfather are leprechauns, and he gets luck. Essentially, that's why he's good at homework. He's good at sports. He's tall. He always finds money. Like all these things. And the grandpa says later down in the movie, he says, he's like, it's always the young ones that get all the luck, because he has this little gold piece that is a symbol of their family, the O'Reillys, and he wears it around his neck. It's like, it's very important. And and it just so happens in the show they talk about, Heritage Week or whatever, Heritage Day or whatever, and he has no idea really where he's from. He just knows that he's from Ohio or something. And whenever he brings it up, his mom just tries to act it off normally and all this stuff. So I just like it. I think it's really funny. And I mean, I
and
can
the
go through
villain is great.
Huh? The villain is great, and he's actually Lassiter. No, not Lassiter. Lassie.
Right. Yeah.
Lassie from
Lassie. Psych.
It's Detective Lassiter, right? But then somebody calls him Lassie.
Yeah,
from
Sean does. Psych is my favorite TV show, so I'm definitely with you on that. He's a great villain, and I just loved like when he started sort of transforming into a leprechaun. You know how like he got his hair dyed, and then he noticed that he was getting shorter and shorter.
Yep.
It was great.
It was great. I mean, I thought the music in the show, in the movie, was great. I mean, it was like Irish, but then it was like a little bit of Irish
rock
a little bit. And I like how the grandfather in there, he's a little bit weird and nuts. And it's, I don't know. When they do the whole test, like he has to go through these sports events that was big back in Ireland. Like, it's all these things, and I thought it was really funny. I like the way that the movie ends, and it's just like the luck's not, a piece of gold. It's within you. It's the fact that you are Irish. You are who you are. Right. So that is my number 3. I have to go with The Luck of the Irish. I think it's one of the best Disney Channel original movies ever.
For sure. And you pretty much said what I wanted to for me talking about Luck of the Irish. It was one of the ones that I remember watching the most on repeat. Like, I would record it on VHS just to watch it again. Yep. And so now, like, the tape's all staticky just because I've watched it so many times. But yeah, I mean, everything that you said, loved the whole story through and through. I love the little adventures they go on, trying to, he learns about his heritage with also, saving his family, things like that. But now I guess I'm going to call an ad lib. And since you already said Luck of the Irish and said all the great things about it, I'm going to slide in.
No.
Number 2, Smart House.
Smart House. My wife is happy from the couch. Smart House.
Okay, yes. Thank you, Stephanie. Yeah, so Smart House I loved. That's another one that I rewatched hardcore. Because, I mean, what kid didn't want a Smart House? Of course, before it went all rogue. But it's so cool. Like who
wouldn't want a robotic house that can trap you inside and kill you?
Like I said, before the house went all rogue. So, like, who didn't want a room where all of their walls were pretty much projectors and you could listen and jam to Bewitched all day? I mean, come on.
Bewitched, huh?
Yeah, the girl group Bewitched.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, Smart House was great. Again, I mean, Disney just, I don't know what it was. It was just lightning in a bottle, or just during that time, they had a great story, great actors, and just the way it was set up. Even the graphics still hold up, surprisingly. So I love that the story pays just as much attention to the kids as it does to their dad, and then his love interest, as well as Pam, the house. So I think it was a very fleshed out movie. And yeah, again, it's just whenever I think about it, it makes me want to watch it again.
Yeah. Actually, funny thing, the Pam, the
house.
House.
You want to call that? The Smart House.
The AI house controlling thing, kind of like Jarvis. She was actually Mrs. Bundy in, oh my gosh, what is that show? Married with Children. And
okay.
she is also Gemma from Sons of Anarchy, which is like the head mom of the Sons of Anarchy.
Really? She likes playing mom. So I think she was the mom in 8 Simple Rules.
Yep.
That John Ritter show. That was a good one.
So I like her as an actor a lot.
Yeah, she's great.
So that one did not make my list. It is in my honorable mentions. My wife says I'm wrong, but that's okay. She can be wrong.
You are wrong, Chris.
I'm not wrong because there's 2 others that I think are better.
Okay,
yeah.
dish out. What's
Number
your number 2?
Number 2 for me. Remember the time period again in which this has happened. My number 2 would have to be Brink.
Oh, Brink. That's not okay. Nice. I like that one. That's good.
I liked the bad guy I think his name was
Tina.
No, was it Lars?
Lars
Whatever it was. But the bad guy in the movie was he was a complete jerk, D-bag. That's all he was. And I liked the whole, once again, the X Games skater, like that's what I did. What Brink did, that's what I did like I did a little bit of skateboarding, a little bit of BMX, but like inline skating, that kind of thing is what I did. Actually, and that's
all rage.
So if you look at my nose, it's actually crooked.
Oh, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, that is because I was at a skate park and I went face first into a metal rail.
Oh.
And I broke my nose and I woke up in a pool of my own blood.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Were you with anybody or?
Yeah, I mean, I was with friends, but we were all skating and all of a sudden it's like one of your friends falls and like all of a sudden like I woke up once again in a pool of my own blood. Everybody was around me.
Oh.
So my nose is crooked because of that.
Wow. Dude,
So
wow. That is nuts. Yeah, I mean, I was definitely into inline skating as well. I stayed earthbound and I was just, in my little cul-de-sac, minding my own P's and Q's. But wow, yeah, that's crazy. Good scar.
I was jumping onto a rail to do a grind across the rail.
Ooh,
and my foot slipped. It was like a weird pose where both of your feet are crossed, but then you bend down and you put your front weight. So it's like you're essentially like overextending your body to try to keep balance. So it's like a hard balancing act. And when I did, my one foot slipped out and I went face first right into the rail.
Ooh.
So that was fun.
Wow.
I loved it. I thought the music in it was great. I mean, it was based in like California, so it was like that late '90s summer vibe, which was really cool. The idea of sponsorship.
Right. Yeah. So speaking of sponsorships, what were the team names? Do you remember? Like what was Suds Buckets?
Suds Buckets and
something like that.
Oh my gosh, I totally forgot what the other one was called.
That's like the good.
Yeah, that's the good one.
Guy team.
What
was the bad guy team? Oh.
I forgot what the bad guy one was.
I'll have to look it up. Brink said.
But like, it was a great movie. I loved it a lot. I thought I think it hit all the cylinders where it's like, this kid's trying to earn money to help his family because their dad loses their job. The dad loses his job, and Brink is he's part of this group of skaters, his friends, that don't believe in selling out to sponsors. And then there's the bad group that believe in sponsors. Well, Brink is the best skater out of all of them, so he's like trying to hang out with his friends, but then also secretly trying to hang out with the other team and get the money for the sponsorship. So it's one of those like kind of like trying to do the good thing, but you're trying to hide it from your friends, and it's just not working well. So no, it was good. I enjoyed it a lot. Cool. And so that would be my number 2. So you already said your number 2 now.
I did.
So number 1, and I know what it is for you.
Should we do honorable mentions before one?
No.
Okay,
number
fine.
1.
I want you to guess, and then I'll guess yours.
High School Musical.
No.
Really?
No.
Okay, guess mine.
No,
don't look at them all. Come on.
Phantom of the Megaplex.
No. What is wrong with you?
That's a good one. Okay, fine. Seriously though, Johnny Tsunami.
Yes, Johnny Tsunami is the best Disney Channel original movie.
You know what, Chris? I agree. That's mine too.
What? I
That's
thought you said High School Musical was your favorite.
Oh, well, okay. I might have said that a couple of years ago on my Disney Detective channel, but I've since retooled it, and I've noticed the error of my ways. It's Johnny Tsunami.
Johnny Tsunami is the best.
Yes. How's it? Oh,
Yeah,
I mean, it's so good. It's not only does it deal with surfing and snowboarding,
Yep.
it deals with the whole culture shock of how different Hawaii is,
Yep.
to Colorado, and that's really cool.
No, it wasn't Colorado, was it? Didn't they
Was
move
it Utah?
No.
Colorado, Vermont,
Vermont. I
Connecticut?
think. No, it was
East
Vermont.
Coast?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
Vermont.
was it Vermont?
Yeah.
Okay, well, a place where that has snow. But yeah, it was that cool shock to see how different
Yeah.
kids are and society is, and just the climate in general. So yeah, great movie through and through. They did make Johnny Kapahala back on board, which is like Johnny Tsunami 2, but it was with, I think, longboards. Didn't really do it for me, and it was made 8 years after the first. So
Yeah. Johnny Kapahala, I loved it. And the grandpa from the movie was also Shang Tsung from the original Mortal Kombat movie.
I haven't seen that one.
Yep. So, yeah, I thought the movie was awesome. I mean, surfing is something that everybody wants to try. And the story of his grandpa going out and surfing and saving somebody's life. And then how Johnny is trying to live up to this surfboarding name.
Right.
And then you have the urchins and you have the preps on either sides of the mountain. The
skiers and the snowboarders.
Yeah, and you have actually the two owners of the shops, the ski shop and the snowboarding shop, are actually brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And that whole dynamic, family dynamics, how the dad doesn't want him to become his surfer bum dad, and so it's all these things. And then Johnny and his friend, take a military plane out to Hawaii and sneak out there. I mean, it was just it's such a good movie. I loved it so much.
I know, it's a feel-good movie. You really root for Johnny.
Yeah,
you really do, and they just do a marvelous job at just continuing that emotion throughout the whole
movie. Fun fact: the girl in the movie is actually, I think, the girl who played Xenon in the 21st century.
You're right. You are right.
So
she doubles up.
All interconnected.
Making her rounds.
So,
not that way, Chris.
Come on, get your minds out of the gutter, people. Okay, so since we both agree, Johnny Tsunami,
and that's rare that we agree.
It is very rare because the only reason why I'd agreed to do this podcast with you is just to show people how much I disagree with you.
Hey, if that's your motivating factor, then I'm glad that we did it.
Well, what's up? I disagree with you on the reason why.
Well, see, we agree to disagree.
Nope.
Well, see, for you though, I at least do. You're wrong. This is my way or the highway. But yet, I know that I'm right deep down, and that's why The Road to El Dorado is the best animated movie ever. It beats any other Disney movie.
I will kill you.
Try to punch me through the screen, Chris. I dare you.
I want to.
I heard your wife laughing, I think.
Yeah, my wife was laughing because she thinks you're dumb. It's not true. It is not the best. And me and my wife actually do like El Dorado. It is a very good movie. It is a great movie. I think the animation is great. The colors are great. The songs are great. The characters are great. Everything. I still think Lion King beats that.
Lion King is just, I think...
I swear I will kill you. If you say anything bad about Lion King, I am at the verge of shutting this Zoom meeting down.
I think it's overdone. I think it's overplayed, overtalked about. It's too much. That it's great, but it's not that great. I'm sorry.
My wife's just Me and my wife are gonna have a serious talk. We're gonna have a serious talk about our relational stance moving forward from that comment.
Lion King, overblown.
People, if you like Disney, tell Greg he's wrong.
No,
stop talking. Stop talking.
Where I'm coming from.
No,
guys.
People, do not be
true in your heart.
do not be manipulated. Understand this. The complexity of the Lion King is like
you're getting brainwashed.
It is the best thing.
Brainwashed.
It's like going to Harvard University or Cambridge or Oxford, and then there's Whitewater.
You went there, but hey, you know
or
what?
Milwaukee.
Whitewater. See, at Whitewater, you have meet more down-to-earth people. You have better stories, and you get the same education at a fraction of the cost, which is what DreamWorks did in terms of the budget as compared to Lion King. Fraction of the cost, and you have a much better, wholesome movie.
Oh, me and you are gonna go at this. Okay, we're gonna stop with that.
Okay, we're throwing.
We're gonna go. I could go at this all day with you because you're wrong. You're so wrong on so many levels.
See, I like that you think I'm wrong because I know that you are the one who's misguided, sir.
No, because everybody knows that I'm right. Everybody.
See, everybody.
IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes. You have cinematic reviews. You have Oscars. You have all about the songs. Everybody agrees that The Lion King, even financially, outbeats Road to El Dorado by a landslide.
Wait, or
you keep getting quiet. Nobody heard what you said.
Like a stampede, like a stampede of wildebeest.
Yeah, one of the most emotionally devastating scenes that pretty much everybody agrees with.
Did it take them like over a year to animate just that scene? I think that's how long it took them. It's insane. But hey, I'm not dissing The Lion King. I just think it's a little too overdone. You know, it sort of lost its taste for me because I'm always hearing about it. I'm always seeing it. I've watched it a lot. So maybe that's just the reason why. Like maybe I like Road to El Dorado is because it's one of those gems where, you know, I haven't really seen as much as The Lion King.
It is a gem. I'm not saying it's not a gem, but what I'm saying is you're taking something that's like, you're saying I'm saying it's like a 8-carat diamond versus a 50-carat diamond. They're not the same. They're made of the same stone, but the quality and the actual value are very different.
Ooh, okay. I mean, if that's what you believe, then you know, live it, commit to it, man. More power to you.
Did you hear my wife?
Anastasia. You know, I've seen it once, and that was when I was like 6. I don't remember a whole lot of it. Isn't there a bat in there?
There is a bat, a crazy weird bat.
Yeah.
And yeah, true to life, she doesn't live. The real Anastasia dies.
No way.
Yeah. Look up Russian history. Didn't go well. So, besides that tangent, people. And by the way, like, comment, subscribe, and then show Greg that he's wrong by your comments.
No,
I did not
need you
say
guys to swarm behind me.
No.
Come out and show yourself. You shall be rewarded.
Get this clear, people. I did not say El Dorado sucks. I did not say it's bad. I say
between the lines,
I said The Lion King is far and beyond what El Dorado is.
City of Gold.
El Dorado had the Disney Renaissance to build off of.
They did, but they just did a little bit better. I'm sort of and making my statements a little bit more hyperbolic, maybe just to get under your skin a little bit. But you know, I do believe it.
That's cool. That's cool.
That's cool, bro. That's cool, bro.
All right, so let's move on here.
Yeah. Honorable mentions, right?
Honorable mentions.
Yes.
So I got a whole handful here. Why don't I read off what I got? And
Got
then
it.
you can read off what you got. Okay, what I have
All right,
here
man.
is, like I said, like you said Smart House. I agree with you there. Date with the President's Daughter. I agree with you. I do have to throw in, like I said, Xenon Girl of the 21st Century.
Yep.
Phantom of the Megaplex.
Yep.
Smart House, said that. Genius, I have to say.
Oh, I forgot about that one. Yeah.
Genius. What else do I have?
That's where I learned the slick trick. Remember the eyebrows thing? You lick the pinky and the index finger, and then.
Yeah, don't do that.
That was the coolest thing when I was a kid. I was like, oh my gosh, I know how to do that. That looks so sweet. Disney Channel movies.
Don't do that. Ugh. Okay, and then what we have here, I also have Alley Cat Strike. I don't remember if you remember this one, 'Twas the Night. So,
No.
'Twas the Night, it had the guy from Breaking Bad in it. And,
Jesse? Aaron Paul?
huh?
Aaron Paul?
I don't know, whoever the old guy was.
Oh, Bryan Cranston. Yeah?
He was pretty much the uncle in the show to these kids, and they get this little ball that allows them to get into houses, and that's how Santa puts presents there, but he uses it to steal things.
I forgot the title, but yes, I remember that.
So that is that movie. And then there's another movie that you may have heard of. It is called H-E double hockey sticks.
Dude, I was gonna say that in my list. Yes, H-E double hockey sticks.
Yep, I don't think
also with Will Friedle.
It is. And then another one I have to throw in there that I really like is Jumping Ship.
Ooh, okay. That sort of triggered a little memory in my mind, but it's not there enough for me to fully remember it. What's it about? Jumping Ship.
So it's a sequel to what is it? Horse Sense, I think it was, with the two brothers. They're actually all related. I forgot what the brothers' names are.
The Lawrence brothers.
The Lawrence brothers, that's it. So the two brothers, do this movie where they, this rich kid has to go to a ranch and whatever. So they built a relationship because they're cousins, actually. In the second movie, Jumping Ship, the two cousins, which are actually brothers, not in the show, like the actors are actually brothers.
In real life,
yeah. But in the show, these two cousins, the rich kid decides to take his cousin who does a horse ranching out on a yacht and whatever. And the guy who's running the yacht, one of the other Lawrence brothers, takes them out. Some pirates come after them, and they essentially get stranded on a beach for, I think, like a couple of days. So
okay.
It was a very good movie. I just liked it. I thought it was fun between all the brothers.
I want to say I've seen that. Yeah, it's so like deeply embedded into the recesses of my memory.
So those are the handful of movies that I have.
Ooh, good handful. Good handful. So for mine, I'm going to verge into a little bit more recent Disney Channel original movies, but I'll start with Xenon. And even Xenon the sequel. Like, that one was good too. I liked Up and Away. Remember that one?
Up and Away, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the that's the superhero one.
It's a superhero one, yeah.
Yeah.
Where like the bad guys, they have this mind control device or something like that.
Yeah, and then the superheroes go to this school and up in like space or something, right?
No, I think you're thinking of Sky High.
Sky High, that's what I'm thinking.
That was a dope movie. I love that movie. But anyway, Up and Away is about, it's sort of like Sky High, I think, where the main character, he doesn't have his superpowers yet, and his brother, like, he's super fast. His dad is like Eagle Man, like he can fly.
Yes, I do remember this movie now. Yes.
Yeah, like I forget what his mom does. Maybe she's like just really elastic. But
Are you just replacing Incredibles with this movie?
You know what? It did cross my mind, but I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure that his dad was Eagle Man. But you're right though. But yeah, great movie there. Loved the ending, and his sidekick was hilarious. So Up and Away, Xenon, Quince. You remember Quince? So there's this girl, she's probably like 15, 16. She also played in Halloween Town as like the main girl.
Okay.
Tina. And then her parents give birth to 5 twins, so Quince. And so it's just them, like the crazy hilarity that ensues with, 5 babies.
I don't remember this movie at all.
Okay. How about this? You have to remember The Other Me. You have to remember The Other Me.
Why does that sound so familiar?
It's with the Lawrence brother, and it was made, I think, in 2000. So basically, this kid, he accidentally clones himself with this like create your own sea monkey tank.
Yeah. And
then he stays home while his clone goes to school, but then his clone becomes like super popular, well liked. I just remember one scene. It's etched in my mind because the first time the clone gets to school, he sees a water fountain or a bubbler for the first time. And then when he tries it, he doesn't know how to drink out of it. So he starts like chomping and eating at the water. He's like,
yeah.
And I was like, that's such a weird thing. And I tried it at school, in elementary school. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I'm cool. So
yeah, I think I've seen the movie once. I don't remember.
It's good. It's good. So I like that one. A little bit more recent, Wendy Wu, Homecoming Warrior with Brenda Song.
No idea.
That's great. No, okay. So basically, like she's this popular girl. It's been a while since I've seen it, but she finds out that like she's related to this one, ancient dynasty of Chinese fighters or whatever, and so she like her natural instincts and generational skills come up, and she becomes this like BA version, like a female Jackie Chan. The next one, Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off. Remember that one?
I do remember that one.
Okay. Yep. So like it was like a baseball theme, but Eddie just loved to cook, and like
his dad thought it was a girl's thing to do. Yeah. Yeah,
and then like no matter what Eddie like threw together, it turned out delicious. It was just like he had like the magic hands or whatever. What else? There was a super weird one. It was called Stepsister from Planet Weird.
I remember. Think I've seen it.
That is just creepy because I think like the stepsister and her family, like they're aliens, but they're like in bubbles or whatever. It was really, really weird. And here, let me look at my list because I was trying to go off of just memory, but I have a couple more here listed. Of course, Phantom of the Megaplex.
Yep.
Motocross.
Yep.
Proof Point. You remember Proof Point? It's sort of like that Zac Efron movie 17 again, where like the grandparents they find a way or they accidentally become young again, and then
I think I slightly remember it.
Yeah, like relive their adolescence in like today's world, but they're so old-fashioned. So it's just really funny. It's with like Tia and Tamara Mori or TJ Mori. So that's really good. And wasn't there one called like Pound? Like a one with a crazy dog and Ed Begley Jr. I'm pretty sure.
It might be. I just don't remember it.
Yeah. So there were some other ones, but those are the ones that come to my mind. I mean, Disney just had a long string of hits that, like, it was good to be a kid in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Honestly, like, cartoons,
out, like,
kid shows in the 90s and the early 2000s were great. Between Disney and Nickelodeon, like, it was great. There was so many things to watch.
It was amazing.
So, all right, you guys, that is pretty much going to wrap up our list. There was too many to discuss. Let us know what your favorite Disney Channel original movies are. Also, let us know why Greg is wrong about El Dorado and why I am right about Lion King.
Stand behind me. Let me know that you guys are...
That's cool. You guys can stand behind him to throw rocks at him without him seeing. That's cool. Whatever you guys want to do,
funny.
Just to let him know.
Very funny.
But, all right, you guys, it was a pleasure speaking with you guys. Me and Greg are on the same page here on Johnny Tsunami. Obviously, super great. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. whatever the case may be. And then that way, if you guys do respond, we're pretty quick to responding back to you guys and interacting with you guys as well. So, Greg, is there anything else that you wanted to add at this point?
No, just thank you guys for your support, especially through this quarantine time. We just always love getting together, recording, just talking about anything and everything Disney. Hopefully you enjoy listening and now seeing us. And please let us know if there's anything else that you'd love us to talk about. We will more than happily do that, make an episode about it, maybe even bring you on. So who knows? Just something exciting to think about. So make sure to, comment, share, post, and just spread the Disney love.
All right, you guys. You have a good one. Take it easy. Peace.
Until next week.
Until next week. Like a superhero, like up and away or something.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Oh my gosh.
Same Disney time, same Disney channel.
People, leave while you can.